Geeks, today we explore the Madagascar Evolved map. We find some beautiful grasslands. We build an African-style ranch house and a pen for some wild equus. What is up, geeks? Welcome to the Madagascar Evolved map. And I couldn't help myself. I have been loving the equus so much that I wanted to do another video involving this thing. And what I think we're going to do today is another map exploration base location video. And at the halfway point, we'll get into a build and we'll do something small and creative out here. And I'm excited for it. So this is one of the custom maps that is part of the modded, whatever you call it, the sponsored mod program. It is one of the cooler ones too, and I had a bunch of people after I did the Thieves Island map spotlight last week, which I'll link you guys to at the end of the video and put a link to in the description. I had a lot of people telling me what I needed to do was get an equus and go explore this map, the Madagascar Evolved map, and it is a pretty unique one, so I think we're going to do just that, guys. I want to take this beast out until we find ourselves a gorgeous spot to build. Maybe we'll explore for 4 or 5 minutes, and after that I will dive into a small build, whatever I'm inspired by when we find a location to build at. So let's talk a little bit about this map. So unlike the Thieves Island map, which had a lot of water and just about every biome in the game, this one, it does not. This has no snow, it has no swamps, it has minimal mountains. It is really it's inspired by Madagascar. So what you're going to get is these orangey sand beaches. You can see the mountains up above us here. You'll get some rivers and forests, and that's pretty much it. And I want to dive into it and explore. So this map is still in development, as are most of the ones on the sponsored mod program. Let's stop and take a little look. Oh, that's like a rock with all kinds of coral and stuff on it. That is cool. And we'll take a look at the kind of dinos that are currently spawning around here too. This is a big map, and I decided not to do it on the back of a flyer. We got the flyer nerf earlier this week. They are slower and a lot less fun than they used to be. So I was watching some other map spotlight videos this morning, guys. And if you're looking for like a flyover view of the map, I'm gonna put a link in the description to TitanshieldGaming. He did one. I watched about 3 or 4 of them, including one from GG Fizz. But I think the best one that I saw was TitanShield's. Went and explored this map, did it from above. And if you do want the big overhead view, that's the guy to go watch. But for us, what we're going to do is take a horse and we're going to ride it up this river until we find somewhere absolutely stunning to build. I think it's a big map, and I don't want to talk through the first 10 minutes and then have to pick a spot without having explored the map. So let me go ride. I'm going to bring you guys back when I stumble on more gorgeous sights, okay? So check these little scrubby trees out. I really like that. And you've got like deadfall trees here too. Oh, the Acatina. Hello, you little cutie. Alright, guys. I had mentioned wanting to get myself up to one of those cool-looking trees. Oh, raptor. But it seems like there are a bunch of those cool-looking trees. They kind of look like that big standalone tree that Rafiki lives in The Lion King. That Asante Sana squash banana tree. So I saw a few over here, and the funny thing is it took a little bit of time, but this area totally populated itself, and it did with these sort of mangrove looking trees that we're used to seeing in the swamps. And I don't know if this counts as swamps. I have seen a few Titan boas. As I understood it, there weren't really swamps in the area, but let's try and cross the river because I did see a bunch of cool looking trees. And let's see what's below. Oh, that looks pretty cool. That is a unique look, and there's nothing too deadly down here. I actually don't see anything spawning in the water quite yet, so I don't know if there are fish. Map is under construction, obviously. Well, one thing I am looking forward to as we keep going here, guys, is the nighttime. This place seems to have one of the best and most unique sort of skyboxes, I guess that's the term, of any of the maps I've seen. So if we have a look up, you can see it is a different looking sky. Oh, we're getting snake bitten. Let's hustle. Don't stop and smell the roses, idiot. Here, this looks like a much safer spot to stop. And I think it's just our horse who got bit. You okay, bud? All right. So yeah, that sky is very cool looking. It has a very African feel. It looked cool during the rain, but apparently the nighttime is absolutely stunning. I gotta give a shout out to Fates. It's at FatesGamingLP on Twitter. He's a patron of Alexis Arcade, plays on the Arcadia server, and mentioned how beautiful this place was during the day and during the night. Cannot wait to explore it. I'm interested to check it out, but what I really wanted to do is come down to these big old trees, guys. We've explored a big chunk of this map. Let's take a look. So yeah, I started down there. Oh, is that the best the map looks? Give me better map graphics. Jeez, why does my hand look so stupid? Oh, god dang it, stupid god dang snakes. Get off me, you idiots. Alright guys, so for some reason the map and my arm are stuck in low-res graphics, and I don't know why, but we started down at the bottom there, where the ocean is, and we've worked our way at least halfway up the river. I wanted to come down here and have a look at these big old trees, because they are pretty unique and not something I'm used to seeing on an Ark map. And I'm wondering if this might be the spot we want to stop and build. So there's a ton of resource spawns in this little area, so I'm wondering if this actually would be the kind of spot you would avoid building, just to protect those. I want to keep riding a little bit longer and see what we can find, because I'm not yet inspired. There we go, my arm and the map are looking good now, so that's where we are. We started down at the bottom. I guess that would be like 75, 55, something like that I think we started at. We got a little fork in the river here. Sometimes you just can't resist the urge. Let's ride. So I'm glad we've departed from the river a bit, guys. We are getting into a much more desert-like terrain, and I'm wondering what awaits us out by this obelisk. Let's keep riding. Oh, Rex. First big predator I've seen. Sabertooth. Another Rex. Okay, so this feels like it's got the same dinos as a mountain region or something like that. See if we spot Argentavis or anything like that. What's up, you big idiot? So I was curious if you'd be able to find every dino on this map. I see beavers, which are a key one. Yeah, check that out. Okay, I hope this is safe. No beaver dams, but lots of beavers. Wow. Okay. And I'm right in the shadow of the blue obelisk, guys. I still haven't been inspired. I'm going to keep riding. Oh, Lord, I'm going to die. The terrain gets incredibly rough, and so I've ended up knocking myself down into a river here, guys. So there are definitely fish. I got mega piranhas on me, and I had to turn around because I saw a baryonyx up there. And the beavers swimming around like crazy here. There's an insane number. I kind of love it. They look a little weird and a little bit out of place, but I really like it. Get your head above water, moron. The Ichthyornis is around here. I see them flying around grabbing fish out of the river. I like that we keep discovering new sort of biomes here, guys. I love it. Alright, so I think we are coming to the edge of the developed areas. It looks like vast, flat desert out there. And I think I'm looking for some grasslands, so I'm going to work my way out to those big old trees. They caught my attention early on, and we need a spot to stop and to build. Oh, yeah. I think this might be the spot, guys. Check this out. Good Lord, is that beautiful. Yeah, I want these grasslands. I don't care what else is around. I have some visions, and I think I know what we're going to be building. I will be back. Oh yeah, woolly rhinos. Yes! Okay, here's the spot for sure. But what I want to build is a ranch, an African horse ranch, and that is what's inspiring me right now. So just before we get into it, I wanted to show you where we are. Dead center between, I believe that to be the green and the blue obelisks. The map always seems to be stuck in this low res for me. Every once in a while it'll pop into high res. So let's take a look at GPS. We're at like 2965, something like that. And we're in these crazy cool savanna grasslands. We're coming up to the edge of the completed areas. Out there you see some unfinished desert, big flat spots, and I'm not sure what lies even further out this way. Before we get started on this build, guys, I have some work to do. I want to spawn in some wild equus, and I want to build a big old fence that will protect us while we build, because there are some vicious dinos out here. So let me get a little bit of pre-work done, and together we're going to build the ranch house. And welcome back, guys. How's it going? So, I admit, I did a little bit of work off camera, and it's because I wanted to focus on a house build for this video. We spent a big chunk of the beginning exploring this beautiful map. So, together, we're going to take a look at how I got this far. So, just in case you want to build along at home, this is like a 9x6 foundation, and I think you could easily do a 9x4 and get a similar effect, and we're going to play around with it. I have no idea what I'm building yet. I have a vague idea of what I'm building yet. To be more specific, this isn't something I've already built. We're going to build it together. I just have an idea in my head. So I wanted to show you how I did my fence. So step one was Adobe fence foundations, right? And then every 2 spots along here, I have gone and put a standing torch. So there's a standing torch, and then 2 spots down from that is a wooden pillar. And then 2 spots down from that, another standing torch, a wooden pillar, a standing torch, a wooden pillar. And I use the Structures Plus standing torches just because they don't need fuel and they light up automatically. So that's why I did that. And then to build the actual fence from that Adobe fence foundation, I just did 2. So what I did was 2 wooden railings, and on top of that, I did an Adobe railing, and I'm playing in a single player world where I can use admin commands. So I came in here and I spawned a bunch of wild equus. I thought they would all run away, but it turns out they're really stupid and they're all still in here. So we can start building the house even with these idiots running around in here. So let's back up and take a look at our environment. And I'll tell you, this is inspiring me to build with wood and with thatch. And what I'm picturing is a house with 3 little points on the front, and then a front porch that is covered. So to get started on that, I'm going to spawn myself in some ramps for sure for the front of this thing. We're going to need wooden railings for our front balcony. We're going to need a bunch of wooden wall building pieces, and definitely some thatch roof building pieces. But before I get there, I want to get myself set up with all the gear we need. So I'm going to come back to you guys in just a minute. Alright, geeks, so I'm hoping this is not a monstrously long video, but together we are going to get started on building this place out. And what I want to give myself the ability to do is add some pillars just on the corners, which means fence foundations. And I think we'll need a pillar here and a pillar here, just for now. And what I want to do is build a low, sort of 1 high ceiling off here that's going to frame in our front porch. Let's grab a couple of ramps, and I only need a few. So let's go right to the middle of the build, which I believe would be here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 to that side. We'll go here, and I should have 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So something about this map, textures take forever to come into high res. So that includes my hand and things like that, or the map and things like that. So it's been driving me a little nuts. When I first spawned in these equus, they looked all lumpy and chunky and silly. All right, there you go. So we're slowly losing a few of our horses, and they're getting lost into the plains of the savannah. I haven't seen any equus spawn here naturally, which is really interesting. So we're going to do something a little different. I eventually want to come through here with railings, and I'm going to try and remember exactly. Here, let's put these right here. I'm going to put the railings here. I'm going to try and remember exactly which order you need to do this in, if there is an order. So let's try this. There isn't an order. So what I want to do, guys, let's go ahead and rail off this, and this. And actually, we'll put one on the side here, too. Try and make it line up with the others. Okay, and then this does give us a hard time. So what I want to do is I want to use these ladders as a decorative piece. So maybe you place your ladders first. That seems like it might be the logical solution. But we'll keep playing around with it. Okay, So it seems to want to play along in some scenarios, and then in others it wants to snap somewhere totally weird. So let's go ahead and use ladders along here. And these are going to actually help frame in our front porch. And I've used these before, not as ladders. And I'll tell you guys, I get a lot of people saying, or complimenting my building, and that's something that I love doing in this game. And I'll tell you where I learned. I learned from Minecrafters, to be totally honest. When I started my channel, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I thought my channel was going to be all about. So on the ends here where I have these fence foundations, I seem to need to do the ladder and then the railing. But watching Minecrafters back in the day, I learned the building pieces don't have to be what you think they are. So a ladder doesn't have to be used as a ladder. It can be used as a support for a roof or a railing. And so I think that's what we're going to do today with those pillars on the corners. If you wanted to, you could come in here and add in, I don't think it'll let me at this point. If you wanted to, you could come in and add pillars here and here on either side of that front railing, but I don't plan on doing that. So what I want to do now is grab a bunch of walls off my horse here, and we'll get started on a shape for this building. All right, so for the next step, I think our walls are going to start right here. So what I want to do to frame this place in, and we may have to take out this railing first, is an Adobe pillar. And I think we're going to want to take that too high. Yeah, that is probably how we're going to do it. And then once that's done, I could go ahead and put the railing back in if I brought some railings with me. So we'll fix that again in a minute. So let's take you out, and we will throw one of these and one of these. Okay, I will eventually replace those railings, but we're going to go ahead and use fence foundations. See, I'm not sure yet, guys, how deep the build is going to go. So let's get into some walls, and we'll figure out where we're going to put our Adobe pillars for the back corners of the house. All right, so we're going to get started with a couple of door frames. Instead of going dead center, I actually want to put them off center. And we'll come down here with a wall and a wall here. And we'll take window frames and we'll put them in the spots in between here. So we'll have one here, one dead center in the house, and another one right here. All right, guys, and what we just did here, I'm going to double layer it. So wherever you have a window, put a window on top, a wall on top. And same with the door frames. All right, guys, I had to cut that last part out because somebody's adorable dogs, mine, started barking. I went and did wooden ceilings all across the front of the house after double layering the walls up there. And depending on where you snapped your ladders, they're actually going to have the function of being a ladder if you do need to get up here. So now that we're up here, what I want to do is frame this in. We're going to put those there, and eventually we're going to come across here with, I think, sloped thatch roofs. I still have to play around with how that's going to turn out. Ooh, finally getting to show it to you guys. That is how the night sky looks. Pretty crazy. And with our torches, this is how our fence looks. I am pretty stoked for that. So I don't want to build too much in the dark, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm thinking. Alright guys, so I brought us back to morning, and I wanted to show you, instead of 3 peaks on the front of the roof, which I briefly considered, what we're going to do is 2. So starting on this window frame here, I'm going to put one of the 2 peaks, and what I think we'll have probably is a flat spot here in the middle, and we're going to have, I'm still sorting it out, but let's come down to this side. What I think we're going to end up doing is putting walls all the way up to here, and then we're going to end up having a slope, another slope right here. So we'll have a sloped thatch ceiling coming this way, one coming this way, and here I think what we're going to end up doing is going a little bit higher with it. So let's go ahead and do that. And I think what we're going to end up doing now is shaving off one of the foundations. So we're going to use a 9 by 5 instead of 9x6 because I do like the shape we're at right now. If I were to keep going, we're going to end up like that. And I don't think we need to do that. So let's take these out, and I'm going to take these out just so we can come back and put our Adobe pillars on the corners. Let me take out this last row of foundations. I will be right back, guys. Okay, so let's pop Adobe pillars just like we did on the front, too high, and we'll come do the same thing right here. And then one thing to keep in mind when you are building off these fence foundations is to make sure everything lines up, because they might give you some weird snap points, but that is the shape. And I think we're going to go recreate that on this side here. All right, guys, so this is what we've got at this stage of the build, and I think it has mostly come together. We need to design a back wall now. All right, guys, so for the back, I think we're going to do what we didn't do on the front, throw a door frame right in the middle. And then, because we are not going to have a porch on the back, I think we can make the most of having the windows on the upper level. So let's go ahead and put our door frames here, here, and here. I'll go do the same thing here. Or these are walls, pardon me. So we'll put those right there. We will put a window frame here with a door frame over top. And we'll do the same thing right here. And we should get this guy out of the house. All right, and we'll do the same thing there. And then on top, I think I'm just going to go all the way across with window frames. And this is going to let light in, but you're not going to have a giant view out the back. So I like it like this. The question is, do we also add peaks on the back of the house? I don't think so. I think I like it the way it is. So the next step is really simple, guys. We need some sloped thatch ceilings, I think, to bring this place to life. I will be right back. All right, so it is time to play around with the design and see what I've come up with. I'm going to fly for this stage of the build. I think I flew a lot for the Thieves Island build. And so these windows, the ones that you guys are seeing me cover up here, these are mainly for looks on the inside. We're going to probably put windows in there to cover them up. Okay, something like that. And then we should be able to build up like this, coming off of our other slopes. Perfect. So if you guys are having any sort of trouble, the key tends to be placing one before the other. So I can go here and then snap to this one. I should be able to. Yep. Like that, but sometimes you won't be able to snap, and if that's the case, try taking out the one you placed first and place the other one first. I don't know if there's rhyme or reason to it, but it usually will work that way if you play around with it. So this is a pretty easy thing to roof in, so I think I can probably cut away from you guys. This is how the front of the house is going to look. I like it. Alright guys, I want to call a little bit of an audible here. So I don't like that our entire front porch is covered. I would like it to be a little more visible, and since we didn't put an arch in the middle of the house, let's go ahead and try taking out these ceilings and these sloped ceilings and the one in the middle. And then we're going to put this in place. And we'll do this beside it. And then we will come back and put our sloped roofs in. And I think that is a slightly different look. You tell me if you like it better. I don't know. I'm debating. Actually, let's just go ahead and put this back in. But we'll leave the work we did below. And that way, at least the one window on the front of the house will have a little bit of light that can come through there. So I think I like this. Let's go ahead and head inside the house. And all I have to do at this point, guys, is do thatch roofs along the back here. Let me put them in, and we'll have a look at what's left for this build. Alright guys, so the back of the house is really simple. If you wanted to, you could add in the same arches and the same deck, the same veranda that we did on the front. I'm happy with how it is. I ended up using an Adobe gate frame with a wooden gate in it, and I like this Adobe wood combination. So before we get into finishing up this house, let's go ahead and spawn in a bunch more wild equus for this ranch. So there you go, guys. If you're going to be doing anything like this, make this pen as big as possible, because these guys end up running on the walls, the fences, more than they end up running free. Let's head inside, and what I think we need to do to finish this place up is add windows and door frames. So we have quite a few options when it comes to this. I have grabbed the Adobe, which I mentioned I like combining here, the greenhouse, which is going to be an actual window, and the wood, and we've also gone and grabbed a thatch door. I'm curious how this is going to look. I think that could certainly work, but what I want to try before we do is this, the Adobe door frame. I think that could definitely work for you guys, because what I have in mind for this lower level is the Adobe windows, and they actually line up so strangely that it's kind of kooky. I like it. Now, they obviously haven't gotten all the way up to high-res textures yet. They look really weird, but I think that could work. And then for the upper level, let's try the actual glass. All right. I think that can work, but I'm at the moment, because we have the Adobe underneath, I'm really not loving the way that greenhouse one works. Let's go ahead and put the door frame in there. Yeah, I think you could certainly do this exact deal with thatch. There's obviously no thatch windows, which is why I'm avoiding using too much of it. See, I think that could work for us, guys. I like that. Let's head to the front of the house. So for our front doors, I'm going to go ahead and do these here and here. And wherever the window can actually get to the outside, like this central one here, I'm going to do the glass. Above there, I think what we want to do is more of this strange looking Adobe, and we'll do the same up here. Yeah, the Adobe and the wood go together so strangely. I kind of enjoy the oddness of it. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll put an actual window here and an actual window here. This is a weird little house we've made, guys. Alright, geeks, check this place out. This is our African ranch house, and I'm inspired by the terrain of the Madagascar map and by the Equus, which has this crazy cool zebra look. So we've spawned a bunch of wild ones here inside our pen, and this is the house we've come up with. I like it. So this is a new style of video I've done. Last week we did the Thieves Island, and we ended up doing a fishing cabin sitting in a little oasis. If you like this, guys, you can let me know. Are there more spots on Madagascar Evolved you want me to explore and build at? Or are there other maps, the Crystal Isles, the Shigo Islands, who knows what, where I could do an explore and build combo video? And this opens up into a pen for our amazing looking Equus. I love this. It's the newest animal in the game, and I had to build with it again. I'm happy with the way the place turned out, and guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to click the like button, and the video that's popping up on your screen at the end of this is my Thieves Island explore and build map spotlight epic base location fishing cabin video, whatever you want to call it. So click on that. Geeks, thank you for watching. My name is Unite the Clans, and I will see you in the next video.